But I was going to say that we still have a minute, but we actually don't now. So now it's noon. Here we go. Looks good. Okay, so we're supposed to be on all 3 channels today, but for some reason everything I don't think everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to answer you guys, and I can see your comments, so I just want to make sure that this is awesome. And it looks like we have a little bit of interference because my reception in here is not great. What a bummer. Hi guys. So I am gonna have to, I'm trying to set this up so that I can actually see everything, and we don't have everything set up the way we want it. I say we, I mean me and my 17 personalities. So this stinks that it's not working. Also seems like it's behind. It's kind of dragging a little. So everything I'm saying is going to be probably a couple seconds behind. I'm watching it lag. I'm watching myself on the actual feed, and now I'm watching myself, and there's a bit of a lag, but that's fine. We'll figure that out, and hopefully you guys will be able to watch and not get frustrated like I am right now. I can't stand it when things don't work the way I want them to, but here we are. So welcome to the Sarah Lovell Show, and I'm glad that you guys can see my logo, which I love. So I want to give a big shout out to Joe Diaz, who created my logo and has also created my website as well. I want to talk about fear today. I didn't want to get into it because it looks like a really slow connection. It does. It looks like a slow connection, but we'll get it. We will get it right eventually. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to try to watch your comments as we go. Because like I said, so these are the new digs. We're in the studio, and now I'm in my own office. As you know, everything doesn't always work the way you want it to. And then I hate that, but I guess it's just life. It keeps interrupting for whatever reason, so it's not gonna. Yeah, it's gonna keep interrupting. I'm just gonna watch it for a second before I get on topic. Sounds good. The sound is fine, but the frame itself it keeps stopping, which is very, very frustrating. Yeah, that's really frustrating, and I'm hoping that it'll catch up, but we'll figure it out, and hopefully next week we'll be fine. So what we're going to do here, this is what the plan is going to be. The plan is going to be every Friday we're going to come on. I'm going to have I keep saying we. It does not mean that I have I listen, I hear voices and I have 17 personalities. It just means it's us, all of us, right? Because we're kind of all in this together pretty much. I wanted to talk about a couple things before we get on to our. I keep looking at this other screen over here, and it's lagging and it's driving me nuts, and I want it to be perfect, but it isn't perfect, and nothing can be perfect, and that's just the way it is. So there's been a lot leading up to finally getting to this point, and a lot of work, but here we are. Excuse me. I want to remind you guys that I have clothing. I have children's clothing. I have clothing for an 11-year-old boy. It should fit me, depending on size, it fit like a medium, like a 10-year-old boy. And I also have 5T baby boy clothing. So if you know anybody who needs it, it's not, this particular batch isn't a lot of clothes, but it's something. So if you know a family in need, you know somebody that needs it, please message me, message the show, email me if you want, stlevel2@gmail.com. Also, if you local businesses, or actually if you have an online business also, and you want to get in here and sit in the hot seat behind me, you won't be sitting behind me if you get in here. I'll set it up differently when I have guests, but like I said, today it's just me. So if you want to come in and plug your business, shoot me a message and I will send you a media package. We are going to do some really good things for some people this spring and this summer, and continuously throughout and indefinitely, but it has now been able to be kicked into gear with some good donations from people. I have a bit of a following on LinkedIn. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of people, and I did it myself. I took LinkedIn for granted in the beginning, and hi Howie. So I took LinkedIn for granted in the beginning, and I currently now have about over 12,000 followers on LinkedIn, which is awesome and very difficult to do if you are in the arts, meaning like any kind of writing, or if you are an author like myself, or if you model, or if you do anything that is outside of the normal, like business model of what, business, what they think business should be. I fought for a long time for people to leave me the fuck alone on LinkedIn, because they hated my posts. They hated everything that I said. Not everybody, but there were always, hecklers and people that hate, a lot of hate. And you've seen some of my LinkedIn posts that I've made, and they just wouldn't accept it for a very long time. And finally, I kind of broke through that, and it was amazing, and people started following, and it grew from maybe 200 people that were just, on there, and loyal fans and loyal followers who kind of just, stood by me, and now there's a big following. So we've got the public figure page here on Facebook, and then the which we're on right now. We should be streaming on the regular Facebook. However, I have to do some work on this setup here. Excuse me. And the YouTube should also be streaming as well right now. So hello to YouTube, the YouTube followers. Guys, please subscribe to the YouTube. It's a new YouTube channel. But so I want to build that up as well, and get that thing going like this social media is, and like the LinkedIn. So if you have a second, I would greatly appreciate it if you would go to the YouTube, the Sarah Level Show YouTube channel, and subscribe. I once followed a man to the end of a bridge, and then I pushed him. I want to do that several times to people, and I don't, because I don't want to go back to jail. But here we are. Can you guys the haters are pathetic. Can you guys do me a favor and let me know if you see like a lag in this? It's almost like a second. It's really small, but to me, what I'm seeing on this other screen here, it looks like a little bit of a drag. Your studio looks like the time was. That's awesome. So I wanted to talk about fear today, and it comes right on time, because there have been a lot of times in my life that I come across things like opportunities to do things. Is it annoying? How bad is it, Paul? Are you able to follow? I feel like it's going to make people not watch. And so what I would like to share with you is how I get through things like fear, because I have a lot of anxiety about everything. But one of the things way back when I opened my first, started doing my first business, was the opportunity presenting itself, but then me being paralyzed with the fear that, yeah, it keeps getting interrupted. But anyway, me being paralyzed with the fear of failing, of being embarrassed, of not making any money from it. And it's almost like it's almost like a panic, almost like a panic feeling, right? Like almost like a feeling of, or a panic attack. And I would stop and I would, oh my God, like what if I fail? What if I don't do well? What if people laugh at me? What if what if all these bullshit mind fucks that our brains do to us when we're getting ready to try to move forward in any way in our lives. And I know this happens for me. I know it's happened for other people. I feel like getting past that point has become, I'm aware of it now, but before I would have to think, it would take me days to make a decision on anything. And now I'm able to kind of just take a breath and go, listen, shut up, brain, because I want this. Wanting something bad enough and not allowing my fear to basically ruin my life. Because I in the past, I've done that many times, having the opportunity to, have my own spot. Your voice is in the background on a delay. Naturally. Of course it is. But thank you, Scott. We'll get that fixed by next week. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, and then it keeps saying broadcast interrupted. And when it lags my face, it'll like snap my face and it looks ridiculous. So I get stuck making all these crazy faces. So this is, we'll have to fix that. Yeah. Okay. So I think that from what works for me when I get afraid, I have to remember that it doesn't really matter what other people think. When that might be the main thing out of failure, fear of failure, is that, people aren't going to like what you have to offer. People aren't going to like your wares or what it is that you have to say or whatever it is that you're trying to create. I think if you can, and I don't like to present it as like, if you can do this and you do this, because I'm not, I'm not an expert in life, and I'm not like, I don't have any degrees on how you should live your life, but I know how I live my life, and I know how I've gotten through so many things, and I try to share that with you, or not. If you don't want to hear it, that's fine too. But I think that getting past the fear of what other people are going to think is probably the main thing. And being able to realize that your life is your life and it's not anybody else's life, and it's nobody else's business what people think of you. Then if you can get past that, then you realize like, hey, if you have children, I got to support these kids. I got to take care of these kids, and I'm good at this particular thing. So why can't I make this a way for me to survive, and a way for me to feed my children, and a way for me to be successful? So I was able to do that years ago, and then with this whole new thing with the studio and the office, wanting again what I had before. Was a big deal for me, and wanting it and feeling kind of sad that, I had some things in life, some family issues, after like succeeding and doing really well and having accomplished so much, and coming from a place of like literally being homeless and literally having nothing for my kids, and going back to school, opening a business, but then having some family stuff kind of really devastate me to the point where I couldn't really do my job. I couldn't function. I couldn't run my business. And I was just in so much emotional pain that I just had to let it go. And that was embarrassing. And that was very sad for me. And that was very painful, because anybody who has a business, anyone who has a a business that they've created on their own. That's like your creation. That's your baby. And so I'm sure I don't have to tell you, or anything you've done on your own. I don't have to tell you how, like, you kind of mourn that a little bit, right? Like, you've done this thing and I made this, right? Here, I love this. Great. Like, to lose that is very difficult. And then to kind of figure out how you're going to feed your family or do whatever it is that you need to do to function, and it's interrupted again. I apologize for the interruptions. I will have that completely fixed by next week, but sorry, you're gonna have to deal with it for today. Sorry. I spent my whole first year of sobriety going, sorry. Now I'm just like, what are you going to do? There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm laughing. I don't know if you can see when the screen freezes, it's making like this, it leaves me with a frozen, goofy face wherever my face stops, wherever the broadcast stops, that's where it sticks. So yeah, right now the stream is terrible right now, and I apologize for that. But anyway, back to being able to get past that and then having to rebuild, right? So having to figure out, like, am I going to just keep working for other people and not always ending up working for the greatest people, that became frustrating. And so wanting to be where I'm at right now and being able to, I'm so frustrated right now, this isn't playing, but being able to rebuild it, but it taking forever. Like, it feels like it took me forever to get back to this point where I have my own office again, and now I have a studio for the show, and that was so much work, and sometimes it was just putting it together piece by piece, and having to take care of the family but also work and make money so I can pay my rent, but then build at the same time. And finally being able to, I actually almost cried when I got to the point where I am now, which is just most recently being able to have again what I was trying to build before. And so we're here with that, which is great. This is so annoying with this sound. And I'm sorry again. So the other thing too I wanted to talk to you about with fear is it affects relationships, and I'm not talking about like, I'm not going to say like love relationships, but friendships also, like being afraid that your friends are going to screw you over, because I'm sure all of us have had people, friends screw us over, people screw us over for money, people betray you, being two-faced, whatever it is. Fear of people doing something to us, or, for me personally, I've had so many people screw me over that I don't like to get close to people, and that's typical. I mean, it's typical of all of us. We all have that same fear, and getting past that as well is very difficult. But I think that if we can say to ourselves, like, not everybody is that person that cheated on us, and not everybody is that person that pretended they were our friend but they were talking about us, or and it sounds so petty, but am I wrong that we don't, as adults, we don't often give that much of ourselves anymore? Because like when you were a teenager, you wanted to be friends with everybody, and yeah, you'd be nice to anybody that was nice to you. I think as adults we get a little gun shy after so many experiences and so many times of getting played by people or whatever it is. But I've been learning myself that even though there is the potential, and I like to say, like, most likely this person's going to be a jerk, and they're going to, they just want to be my friend because of the show. They just want to be my friend because of this. it's not necessarily true that people are just trying to get things from you. There are a lot of people who are just trying to get things from you, whatever that may be, because people do always want something. But there are genuinely good people, and sometimes it takes years to find those people that are always around when you need them, or are at least, even just through a text, or not necessarily, nobody wants to help you move, but I feel like this. Nobody wants to help you move, but I don't mean like giving you things or always doing something for you, but being available, say, when you want to talk, or when you want to, when you're sad, or if you're going through something family-wise, and you can always tell those people when, you're going through your toughest times, because believe me, I've been through some tough times, and it is very hard to find people. So what I'm going to do, probably because this keeps lagging, and it's very annoying and frustrating, and it's probably making it hard, is I'm also recording it. So what I'll do is I'll post it in a little bit once I get off air. I'm not going to stay on air that long, but I will post the full show, and that way you can just watch it through, and it won't be stuck. The screen won't be stuck every 10 seconds, and you'll be able to just watch it through. So the other quick thing I wanted to say is that sometimes, as far as healing from anything, and I think like some of us, like we get kind of hardened, and we get kind of tough over time because of things that have happened. Healing isn't really like a sappy thing, and I've always looked at it as like this, like, if you're hard, and if you're, like, I'm hardcore and you can't hurt me. Healing needs to happen at some point, depending on whatever it is that has hurt you, because what happens is it stunts your growth. Like, I spent years so angry and so hurt by the horrible things that had happened to me, that I just was fucking angry all the time, like constantly angry. And I literally hated the majority of the population. And I still do. No. But I've been able to, and however you heal, to also, that's just the way that you're healing, whether you use therapy to heal, or you use going to the gym to heal, or you use yoga, or spending time with your children, whatever it is that is, and sometimes we don't even know that we're healing ourselves. Doing something that feels good, and doing something that makes you feel whole again, that's healing yourself. And that's so important, because going forward in your life, a scarred person can be damaging to not just yourself, but to the other people that you invite into your life. And I think for me, I've had to make sure that I'm allowing myself to heal, so that I'm not then going out and hurting people. And that has become a very important thing for me, so that I'm not just, running through this earth, breaking people's hearts and making people feel bad. And I don't want to be that person. So I've had to make sure, and I think that the key to that is healing in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a little bit or it's a ton. It's progress, right? So I'm going to cut this short, because I want to share this whole video, and obviously this live stream is being ridiculous. So I want to remind you that the second book is coming out like it's normal. It will be available for pre-order. It's available for pre-order now. You can pre-order the book now, order your signed copies. If you have told me you want a signed copy, please message me so that I can give you the details on how to pay for it. And then I can throw your name on the list. And as soon as I get the books, they will be mailed out. Some of you have said you wanted some. I want to get that list completed. Also, there is a family shelter that I'm going to be helping, and so just keep your eyes and your ears open. I'm going to be throwing up some requests for donations for that. So now I'm going to end probably just going to end because I can't see the comments because it keeps interrupting. But next week we'll have it. So we will be Fridays at noon is going to be the day for the show. And thank you for watching. And I've got some great shows coming up. We got some really good guests and some really good topics. I thank you, all of you, for supporting. Thank you for everybody that watches. Thank you for everybody that comments on my ridiculous posts. Thank you for following. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That the numbers are like really low because it's a new channel and nobody knows what the heck it is. So I love you guys. You are awesome. And I will see you next Friday. And I got a really cool guest lined up for you. Also, again, if you want to get on the show and talk about your business, shoot me a message and I will get you the information you need to get on here. Bye, guys.